Alright, real quick video today. I'm here with my Winnebago Class C motorhome, and I'm here to talk to you about a little bit of a safety issue. So I didn't even know this is a thing, apparently, but we've taken 2 trips so far since I've got this motorhome, and both times I've had problems. So the mojo is not good with my new motorhome. The first time we were on a trip, I had this brake right here. The caliper seized up, got stuck on the way to the camp. Luckily, after letting it cool down for a while, it came free enough. I was able to continue on my trip, but the rest of the time on the trip, I tried not to use the brakes as much as possible. Long story short, new calipers, new hoses took care of the problem. So the next trip, we're driving along, everything's fine, minding my own business. Next thing you know, explosion. The inner dually on the rear tire just completely exploded, disintegrated, took out the exhaust pipe, put a hole up underneath, and the wheel well liner just went crazy. The mud guard that sticks down was all wrapped up in there and bent up. So luckily I had a spare, and I had just put all the tools I needed to change it in the RV. I called roadside assistance, but I had it changed before they even were dispatched, so I ended up canceling it. So now I need to get I put my spare on, but I need to get a new tire for back here. So what happened? These tires on my RV are only a couple years old, and they're very new. They're very low mileage. They have not even 1,000 miles on them. So why did my tire explode seemingly for no reason? So when I got to really looking at my tire, you could see there was a very obvious, it looked like a meat cleaver went right through the tire. I mean, the tread was separated, but even the guy at the shop who mounted a new tire on my spare rim for me told me, he said, something hit your tire. And I know I didn't hit anything, so I could not figure it out. Then I started doing a little bit of research, and apparently this is a little more common than you think. What actually happened is, in my case, or I should say, this is my theory of what happened, which I'm pretty sure. The mud flap, I'd say a gust of wind came along and blew the mud flap into the tire. Well, when it hit the tire, it wrapped around the tire, and from, I know it's hard to see, but from here up, this is metal. So what happened is this metal went right through the tire like a razor blade and blew the tire, and luckily it was just the inner rear. I was able to limp to the next town on just the one wheel, going slow, but it just completely destroyed the tire. And in the process, like I said, it took out the exhaust pipe. It smashed it so hard that it did permanent damage to the metal under here, and this pipe had to be completely replaced. I replaced it. It was bent closed. So the shop where I had my tire fixed, they opened the exhaust for me so I could continue on my trip until I could get it replaced. So when I came home, I had to completely, straighten out this metal, basically refabricate it. I put new screws, bolts in to try to get everything squared away, and I even trimmed a little off the bottom. So I came up with a solution. It's only cost me a couple of dollars, and I'm hoping this will prevent this from ever happening again, because as rare as it is, it happened to me on the second time I had the RV. So it could definitely happen to you. What I did to keep this from happening is, like I said, the problem is that you have these rubber flaps here that they're able to just flap in the breeze, that they could come forward. You want them to be able to move backwards, because if you picked up something on the tire, like a rock or something, this is meant to deflect it down to the ground. So what I did is I just took a little bit of stainless steel wire. You can see that I bolted the wire using a nut and bolt through the mud flap. So I just drilled a small hole, went through the mud flap, and ran the wire. See, it runs right here, mounts to the frame. right here. So this prevents the flat from being able to move forward, but allows it to go backwards easily. So here's another angle on the passenger side. Same thing. You can see that by using this stainless wire, it allows the flap to go forward, but stops it, or allows it to go backward, but stops it from going forward. So hopefully this never happens again. But I just wanted to share this tip. I picked up that stainless wire for about $1 for the roll. A couple more bucks and, you know, screws or bolts. Probably stuff you have lying around. To prevent, you know, a catastrophic event. You know, obviously blowing a tire on an RV like this could cause an accident. At the worst, it could cause just an inconvenience in time. At the least, you know, breaking down in the middle of nowhere. So hopefully that helps you out. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. Like, subscribe for more, and until next time, we'll see you later.